The number of American homeless students has steadily increased in the past 3 school years. This according to a latest government report. Meanwhile, federal and local agency advocates are working together to find speedy solutions to what seems to be a growing problem. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cavils Press, and I'm Ponce Ferguson. This evening we talk about when the school door closes, what happens to American school children. Compared to a 2006-2007 U.S. Department of Education report, homelessness among students increased by almost 51% by the 2013-2014 school year. The study shows that by the end of the first 7 years of the 21st century, there were 679,000 homeless school children in the nation. That number has more than doubled to 1,360,000 7 years later. Of that last number, the state of California has seen the highest growth of homeless students, with more than 300,000 children without a place to call home. That's nearly 23% of the total homeless population in the country. Next in line is the state of New York with 145,259, followed by Texas with 111,000 children whose primary nighttime residence is not permanent. According to childtrends.com, a number of factors contribute to the loss of permanent residence among families with school-aged children. The websites indicate that in a survey given to city officials, the most frequent reasons cited for family homelessness were a lack of affordable housing, poverty, and domestic violence. For many, doubling up shelter services or staying in a motel were their only options, pushing them into situational or transitional homelessness. A National Center for Homelessness Education report shows that of the entire student homeless population, more than 75% live in a double-up environment and 15% receive shelter services. Experts say that these living conditions can adversely affect a student's ability to focus and to do well in the classroom. Barbara Duffield, a director of policy and programs at the National Association for the Education of Homeless Children and Youth, was quoted in the Washington Post as saying that homeless students have trouble focusing. There is more transition and all sort of things that can be destabilizing in the classroom, she said. According to Duffield, homeless children are more likely to be diagnosed with learning disabilities, miss, change, or drop out of school than other children, which usually lead to lower scores on standardized tests, as well as poor academic performance. An article in U.S. News and World Report quotes a report by the National Center on Family Homelessness as saying that homeless children are sick 4 times more than other children. The report goes on to say that they experience emotional and behavioral problems at a higher rate than other children and are twice as likely to have learning disabilities. But one reason experts say that contribute to the increase in the homeless population among school-aged children is due to a better collection and data reporting. Duffield says that the increase could very well be a result of the economy. But she quotes and advises that it can also be that schools are getting better at identifying and counting homeless children. Such is the case of California, for example, whose population of homeless children fell sharply after the recession in 2009 and 2010, but rose slowly in 2013 before spiking in 2014, according to the federal data. The Department of Education report shows that in California, students' homelessness is more prevalent than in any other state in the country. According to the report, nearly 1 in 20 children in the state experienced homelessness during the 2013-14 school year. One reason for this increasing problem, according to some advocates, is that the policies of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which allocates funding to both state and local agencies as well as private not-for-profit organizations, are geared towards chronically homeless adults and not children. The HUD's policy wordings consider a child to be homeless and therefore eligible for services only if that child is living in a shelter or on the streets, but not if the student and his or her family are living in a double-up situation or in a motel, which makes it difficult to not only provide the adequate and necessary services to a student, but to get a better understanding of which child is homeless. That has been a major problem, especially for states officials in California who grapple an increasing homeless population and a shrinking budget. Not much has been done by California to lower the homeless rate among school-age children. The HUD's definition of homelessness, the lack of necessary funding, shortage of political interest, and neighborhoods' rejections are just some obstacles homeless advocates have to deal with on a constant basis. California does have a homeless law in place whereby it can provide assistance to those in need. But the 29-year-old law has never been used to assist children and their families, and the few occasions that it has been used was just to set up temporary shelters. The McKinney-Vento Education of Homeless Children and Youth Assistance Act and the Feinstein-Portman bill tend to curb that problem and bring some very needed help to those involved with serving homeless children. The McKinney-Vento Act is as it is known, is a federal law that ensures immediate enrollment and educational stability for homeless children and youth. It provides federal funding to states for the purpose of supporting districts who aimed at serving homeless students. One very key component of the Act, which overrides the HUD's definition of homeless children, is that it recognizes homeless children as individuals who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. Thus, it expedites well-needed assistance to homeless students in states like California, where the HUD only counted 25,000 homeless children, while in fact, by definition, there were more than 255,000 children who lack adequate permanent residence. The Feinstein-Portman bill, known as the Homeless Children and Youth Act, will expand the HUD definition and would mirror that used by the Department of Education and other federal agencies. It will also allow children currently forced to live with traffickers in exchange for sex to become eligible for federal housing assistance, which has become a huge problem in the state of California. While children living in motels and double up with relatives are not counted as homeless by the HUD standards, the Feinstein-Portman bill will recognize them as such and provide a very, very necessary assistance. They are Americans who have a roof over their head as they go to bed at night, a pillow to lay their heads down, they have clothes to put on their backs. And yet in this country, these American states, there are thousands of school-age children who after school have no place to call home. They might have a place to go to, but it's not their own. And we all know many problems that can develop in such environments. We will keep you abreast of any new development with regard to the students' homeless population in the United States, so be tuned to us. And we want to thank you for watching this video. Hope that you can share it with everybody. Hope that there is somebody out there who is in a position of power to try to make the difference and bring some change, some well-needed change in the communities where you are. I'm sure there are also children who are in need. Thank you, my dear friends, for watching us. Remember to like us on Facebook, @kpresen. Remember to follow us and subscribe to us at Instagram and YouTube, also under kpresen. You can follow me on Twitter at pferguson, where the S is a 5. And please don't forget to visit us on our website at kpresen.com. Once again, thank you for being with us. On behalf of everybody here at Cavals Presen, be good, be great. Good night.